Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me again. And this is the second longish video of the day. I, of course, a couple of hours ago did a live stream on the situation with regard to the winter fuel payment, and you can go and check that out on the channel. As always, a shout out to all the subscribers, especially those that have joined us since we passed 100,000 subscribers over the weekend. A shout out to the channel members as well. Thank you for all your support. Well, a video I did, and here's the thumbnail. Starmer's winter fuel policy will end him. I'm not sure whether end him is the right choice of words there, but it will certainly make him one of the most unpopular prime ministers of all time. He's not winning any popularity contest right now, is he? And we have seen today that there was an amendment by the Tories to this policy whereby don't scrap it for particularly the poorest. And you can go and see the full details of that on the live stream. Now, what I want to do, and what I always try and do, your input and your comments are the driving force behind this channel. It's what creates the interaction. And I like to do these comment readback videos once or twice a week if I can, and we can get some of your points of view across and discuss them accordingly. So here we go. Right. First one. Oh, God, I hate it when YouTube does this, where it screws the username so I can't identify you. So I'm sorry about that. I'm a European migrant that was paid to come to the UK and have been planning to leave the UK for the last year, and looking to be moving out in the next 3 months, and feel sorry for the British people who could not leave and the silver tops who could not work. Socialists always claim to be for the poor and low paid, yet they're all about benefiting their rich elite backers, like the globalist companies building wind farms, getting a Labour 8 bill payday. I think you summed it up very, very much there. And best of luck to you wherever you end up. Let us know that you're successful. Paul Carter, they don't care. That's why. No, it's a combination of caring and also not seeing the consequences of their actions. I believe that to be the case very much indeed, those two combined. And it's a combination of just utter unbelievable. Paul Carter, again, I sincerely hope you're right. He could be like Teflon, to be honest with you. He could be like Teflon, but at the end of the day, he's winning no popularity contest here, is he? Raymond, I hope that people will remember all this come the next election comes around. Raymond, you raised a very valid point. We have this dirty word, don't we? Manifesto. We promise, or we say, or we guarantee we're going to do X, Y, Z. And when they get in, they do ABC instead. Year after year after year, people fall for this, and then they wonder why we have the problems we have. They get stuck in this cycle of voting apathy where they just suck it all in, and then all of a sudden they get screwed over along with everyone else. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. But that raises a very valid point there. Rose Anna Allen, Starmer and his nasty party are already finished. They called the Tories the nasty party, didn't they? It just proves they're all in the same. Karen Gregory, it will, especially as our bills are due to go up at least 10%. Yeah, you go and watch that live I did a couple of hours ago. I showed you an email I got off my utility provider. It said exactly that. Ofgem price cap 10% up. Thank you very much. Not. Gareth, he is means testing pensioner incomes. Lots of pensioners are better off than most wage earners. Why should they be better treated? I know a fair few pensioners, Gareth, and some, it's all what your later life depends on how you plan for it in your earlier life, I believe. And this is an area I'll admit I'm sadly lacking in too. I've got 20 years before I can think of retiring, and I don't think I'll be able to. Right at that point, I always felt I could. There are pensioners out there that are very rich, very wealthy because they've done the right things in their lives and put the right pounds in the right places, and there could be some argument for that, quite possibly. But in the main, there are a lot of pensioners, and I can think of one in particular that has an amount of money uh, in the kitty every month to pay their bills and everything else. They've got a reasonable pension pot, but when you start looking at gas and electricity bills, such as they sit there in the cold, and that winter fuel payment goes a long way. I don't think it is as clear cut as some people are led to believe. I really don't. I saw somebody comment on the previous live as well, saying that it's fear mongering and people like me should shut up. Well, I won't. Walk has. It won't. He's safe for 5 years, like it or not. Yeah, I think the only conceivable way, because we're in this thing, isn't it? Every so many years we have a general election. We either like them and keep them, or we get rid of them and have the other guy. And then they spin the yarn, oh, do this and you'll get Labour, do that, you'll get the Tories. No, we've got to break out of that. We've got to think differently. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck with these two snake oil machines all the time. The only conceivable way I think it could happen is if his own party did it to him, and then you get stuck in the rut with like the Tories did. How many prime ministers did they have over a short space of time? I think we're still heading for interesting times in our history with all of this. I really do. Bobby, all part of evil Great Reset agenda. People need to wake up. Yeah, you almost think that. You almost think that they're taking things away from people and making it difficult for some kind of reason, to have them more reliant, or just wipe them out completely. I don't know. Mark, wishful thinking again. Well, I'm forever the eternal optimist, Mark, I tell you. Norman, Starmer is a globalist and wants to deal with Davos instead of Parliament. There's a video of him saying that as well. His policies are more akin to following the WEF than Labour policies. He did say that he would help pensioners, and yet that did not happen. He's attacking the most vulnerable in society. And as you say, the old remain at home due to ailments and feeling the cold. Globalism is the opposite to nationalism and tends to interfere with other countries. Yes, you're absolutely right there. Daniel Miller, 4,000 to die. Government get all the pension money anyway. You know what? I was very struck by that. I actually walked into a newsagent's and there was a paper there that said exactly that, 4,000. And I think that's when I did the original video that I'm reading your comments out on now. It's one of them. Robert Anderson. Robert Henderson. God, I think I need new glasses. Well done, all the people who voted for this so-called government. You morons. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that didn't come out. And, there's a lot of people still stuck in the system, isn't there? And this is where it's wrong, because you look at the percentage of the vote they actually got in return for that stonking great majority. Wrong. Rob Duncan, not a Labour voter, but will it end him? Farage went on and on about immigrants flooding the country, and still does, and convinced the country Brexit was a solution. Yet before Brexit happened, 299 migrants crossed the channel in 2018. That figure skyrocketed to 45,755 after Brexit in 2022. Yeah, I've seen the Wikipedia sources as well. Yet people still fall for huckster Nigel Farage and all his shite. All I will say, you're obviously not a fan. All I will say is there is a catalyst there, isn't there, for why that has been allowed to just increase exponentially the way it has. And it's year on year, isn't it? Year on year increase. So why Why is that? More importantly, why is it not under control? I mentioned in a video the other day about the UN Convention of the Land and the Sea. It's over 200 pages worth. And there's articles in there, I think section 18 and 19, which really label reasons why you can stop it from happening. And it isn't. Why? Thank you for your comment. Graham, it won't finish him. He's emotionless and does not care about anyone's feelings or life. You saw that video I play in my live on Sunday where he looks like a sock puppet with a fake smile. I know what you mean. Ren, net zero scam will kill many of the elderly, but that's what they want. Yeah, you read about depopulation, don't you? Peter Fawn, how will this end him exactly? I truly hope it does, but it won't. Also, the 9.7 million fucking muppets that voted Labour will vote for them again, as they're clearly brain dead, whatever Labour do. Well, 9.7 million isn't a lot, is it? And that's another comment. Oh, all right, yeah, it is a lot. It's millions of people. But you put that up against the population of the UK, and then you work out the percentage of the vote against the majority that they got. There's something a little bit snippy there somewhere, isn't there? That is for sure. Steve, Starmer is a lying snake. Like your best mate, Silly Khan. He's not my best mate. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'm about to have an argument with that guy in his TFL. My wife and I are in our 70s now, but we planned our finances. Sold my beloved Passat Estate diesel for a modest Honda Civic, ULEZ compliant, this being our last car. We did 3,000 miles last year. Wow. I'd probably do that in 2 weeks. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. Having got all our outgoings sorted, we thought we'd be okay. Then along comes a snake out of the grass, Starmer and Reeves. Anyway, love you vids. Good luck. The problem is the same. Like the post office horizon, you can't talk to anyone to complain. The computer always says no. Budgie from Bognor Regis. I think I'm due a visit down that way in a not too distant future, Budgie. But yeah, I appreciate that. You make all your plans, don't you? And this is what I said earlier about your retirement and your older age is very much dependent on what you do earlier in life. You know, I say to my eldest son, your 20s, that's where you make the building blocks or start to build for the rest of your life. And I try and impart that lesson because it's something I never did as well as I should have done when I was in my 20s. We might learn by doing, don't we? But it does make things difficult, particularly when you do plan. Billy, pensioners could go sit under the windows of the hotels. Last year, they had the windows wide open because residents inside were too hot. You don't want your 80-year-old relative going and doing that, really, do you? I mean, if it comes to that, that's not good. As a friend of mine in America who couldn't believe the stuff that was coming out. Michael Nedsmart will have a little bet that Starmer will do a U-turn on this. We'll see. We'll see. He was good at that, though. Flip-flopping, they called it, didn't they? Aishal Moi, nothing wrong with the country. It rains, okay. Everything wrong with the PTB, whether in politics or any of its apparent offshoots. The civil service, local authorities, quangos, etc. Totally right. Couple more. James McHugh, there's no such thing as the Labour Party anymore. They're just Tories in disguise. Yeah, I've said this many times. You know, two cheeks of the same arse, or whatever you want to call it. That's the way it appears to be, isn't it? James Gargett, stop all foreign aid, sort Britain first. Yeah, they talk about black holes in budgets, yet they're still chucking billions away abroad every year. And how's that going to help anything here? Eugene, hallelujah, the daily Jesus divine. Yeah, I think we'll skip your comment. Thank you. Let's have one more sensible one. Reminds us of Edwina Curry. Yes, the egg girl. Yes, remember that. Philip Cole, this one will do. Hi, Andy. To start, I think we're all thick. Takes away winter fuel payment. Bills go up 140 quid and gives us 460 year rise next spring. Not everyone's going to get that, though. We've already lost 440. then a lot of us now pay tax on our state pensions. So 20% tax on 460 is 96. So we are £536 down over a year. Thanks very much. Well, that about sums it up, doesn't it? They try and act like they're going to do us a favour and tell us how wonderful everything's going to be. And yeah, doesn't work out that way quite, does it? Well, thank you very much, everybody. Nice spread of comments there and your opinions. As I said, it's apart from me, it's one of the driving forces that makes this channel what it is and this community what it is. So I try and do this as much as I can. Make sure you hit the like button on this. It helps spread it around. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and join this growing community of over 100,000 subscribers. Share me on your socials. And as always, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.